Hey y'all, I finished grading all the operators and the weapons, so let's rank all the operators. Before we get started, just know I have a guide on each of the operators, so I'm not going to explain each at length. If you want to know more about them or how to play them, links will be available in the description as well as throughout the video. So let's get to ranking these operators. So how my tier list is going to work is that it's categorized S, A, B, and C. A is that perfect zone. If anything, small tinkering will just help, balance within the category. S is OP, needs a nerf to get into A needs a little bit of a buff, and C needs a big buff or a lot of changes to get into A. First up, let's start with Fort. Fort needs a lot of love to make her mainable. Currently, she has the biggest hitbox, slowest movement, useless utility aside from the ADS countering probe missiles and nades. Weapon pool is lacking, and to be honest, it is a chore to play her. To explain what I mean, let's just look at a couple things. Number one, the MG is probably the worst primary weapon. Car kit is worse stat-wise, but operators that have it can use their kit to compensate. So for example, Doc and Spike can use their movement, and Orlan just has a little bit more health than Doc and Spike can do the exact same thing. Next up, RPK is good, but you can build a TK as an LMG and it'll be better. Lastly, being big and slow makes you a really big bullet magnet, and it's really easy to die to a lot of different players. That being said, I'm putting Fort in the C slot. Next up, let's talk about Leeway. Leeway, in my opinion, is in an okay spot, but is lacking just enough to be in B tier. Think of him as B+. He has a decent hitbox, slow movement with basic movement gadgets, decent utility, decent weapon pool, and overall had an okay time playing Leeway. Leeway gets the job done as a designated sniper in the game. Most of his weapons are snipers, so adding a burst rifle would bump him up to A in my opinion. Only thing I don't like is the aim punch. It can be annoying, but I'm okay with having it. So, like I said before, he is in B tier, but I would put him at the top of B tier. Next up, let's talk about Probe. Probe, in my opinion, is in a good spot. He has a good hitbox, good movement stats, but basic movement gadgets, has the best util in the game, and has a pretty good weapon pool, which any addition may potentially make him too good. In my opinion, he's really fun to play if you like a slower playstyle. For those reasons, I'm putting Probe in A tier. Next up, let's talk about Spike. Spike, I feel, is the most popular Astro Operator with good reason. She has a good hitbox, she has good movement stats with great movement gadgets, lacking a little bit in utility, but giving her more would make her too strong, has a great weapon pool, and overall is a ton of fun to play. Using her full kit makes for a very annoying playstyle for the other team. Most of her weapons kill fast when in close range, and her kit allows you to close distance in different ways. Combo that with small hitbox and escapability / survivability, and she's pretty unstoppable. For those reasons, I put Spike in S tier, and I feel like she should be nerfed to be in line with the other Astro Operators. Next up, let's talk about Orlan. Orlan is very close to being perfect, he just needs a little bit more to his kit. He has a decent hitbox, decent movement stats with good movement gadgets, lacks utility but has the deepest weapon pool, is really great for flex playstyles. Overall, he's pretty fun and has access to combinations that others don't, such as the TK and the SMG or the PCC and the SVD. Orlan has access to the long-range marksman rifles as well as the close-range SMGs. Combo that with the afterburner to provide for faster playstyles, and you can really mix and match. Adding smoke would increase his survivability, and I feel bump him up to A tier. That being said, I'm putting Orlan just behind Leeway in B tier. Last but not least, let's talk about Doc. Doc is in an okay spot, but could use a little bit to put her on Spike's level. She has a good hitbox, good movement stats with great movement gadgets, has utility, but personally I would only use it when playing as a team. Great weapon pool, and is a ton of fun to play, just like Spike. Doc has a pretty similar kit to Spike, but in my opinion has a worse progression than Spike. She has access to the med, but it's not really useful. Now if med were to heal faster or have a bigger radius, I feel like that would make Doc perfect. That being said, I'm putting Doc in A tier, slightly behind Probe. With that being said, the tier list is complete. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with any of the placements or the rationale for the placements. The tier list is linked down in the description as well, so if you guys want to fill it out for yourselves, you can. Anyway, hope you guys have a nice day and enjoy the video. I'll catch you on the next one.